There's a secret power many women never tap into, the art of subtle attraction. It's not about flashy moves, overthinking every word, or trying to mold yourself into what you think a man wants. It's about something far deeper, far more magnetic. Picture this. You walk into a room, and without saying a word, he notices you. Not because you're loud, not because you're putting on a show, but because your energy, your presence, your quiet confidence speaks louder than anything you could say. In today's world, where so many people are trying so hard to be seen, true power lies in not trying at all. And that's what this video is about. It's about showing you how to stop chasing, stop overgiving, and stop feeling like you have to earn someone's attention. Because the truth, the moment you stop trying so hard, is the moment they start leaning in. Subtle attraction is about letting him feel like he's discovered something rare, because you are. It's about embodying that soft, mysterious confidence that draws him in closer, without you lifting a finger. And as you watch this, you'll begin to understand, men don't fall for the loudest woman in the room. They fall for the one who feels different, the one who glows quietly, with no need to prove anything. So stay with me, because in the next few minutes you'll learn how to become that woman. The one who doesn't just attract attention, she commands it, without ever asking for it. Let's begin. What truly makes a woman captivating without even trying? It isn't about looking perfect or saying the right lines. It's something far more powerful, something that radiates from within and quietly pulls people closer without effort. A captivating woman doesn't need to announce her worth. It's felt the moment she enters the room. It's in the way she carries herself, in the way she listens more than she speaks, in the way she moves through the world with a calm, steady grace. You see, most women are taught to do more to be noticed, to dress a certain way, act a certain way, or say certain things to catch a man's eye. But the women who are truly unforgettable are the ones who don't chase attention. Instead, attention naturally flows toward them. Because captivating energy comes from a woman who is comfortable in her own skin. She knows her value and she doesn't need outside validation to remind her. What makes her magnetic is that she's not trying to impress. She's not performing. She's present. When she looks at you, she's really there. When she speaks, her words come from a place of truth, not from a need to please. And men feel that. They feel the difference between a woman who's centered and confident and a woman who's seeking approval. It's also in her mystery. A captivating woman doesn't lay everything bare right away. She doesn't overshare or try to force a connection. Instead, she lets things unfold naturally. There's always more to discover about her, and that draws people in like a magnet. She makes a man want to lean closer, to ask questions, to earn the privilege of knowing her on a deeper level. Her body language speaks volumes too. Not loud or exaggerated, but subtle, sure. She holds herself with soft strength. She takes up space, but not in an overpowering way. She knows that her energy alone can fill a room. She doesn't rush to fill silences. She's comfortable letting the moment breathe. And in that quiet, something magical happens. He starts paying closer attention. What makes a woman captivating without trying is that she's not trying at all. She's simply being. She's tapped into her own values so deeply that she no longer looks outward to feel seen. And that, more than anything, is what makes men, and really everyone, want to be around her. So remember this. It's not about the effort you put into attracting someone. It's about the energy you carry when you stop trying to attract and simply focus on being the most authentic, aligned version of yourself. That's where your true power lies. That's the kind of presence that stays on a man's mind long after you've left the room. There's a language more powerful than words, and when you master it, you can draw men in without ever saying a thing. It's the language of your body, the way you move, the way you stand, the way your eyes meet his. These subtle signals speak directly to a man's subconscious. And here's the truth. Men are wired to notice. They might not even realize why they feel drawn to you, but your body language can create an irresistible pull. Let's start with posture. A captivating woman holds herself like she belongs. She doesn't shrink to take up less space, nor does she puff up to appear bigger. Instead, she stands with natural confidence, shoulders relaxed, spine tall, heart open. When you carry yourself this way, you send a message. I am secure, I am present, and I am enough. That quiet confidence is magnetic. Eye contact is another powerful tool, but this isn't about staring him down or locking eyes every second. It's about the softness in your gaze, the warmth behind your eyes. When you hold eye contact for just a moment longer than expected, and then glance away gently, you create a spark of intrigue. You let him feel noticed, and then you let him wonder what you're thinking. That tiny pause, that playful flicker of attention, can leave him wanting more. Then there's the art of movement. Slow down. Let your gestures be intentional. When you rush or fidget, it gives off nervous energy. But when you move with ease, whether it's the way you brush your hair back, the way you lift a glass, or the way you cross your legs, it shows that you're comfortable in your skin. Men pick up on that. The more at ease you are, the more they feel compelled to lean in. Your smile, soft, natural, unforced, is one of your greatest tools. A genuine smile lights up your entire face. It makes you approachable while still leaving space for mystery. And when you combine that with subtle nods or tilts of the head as you listen, you create connection without effort. One of the most overlooked body language secrets: stillness. In a world where everyone seems to be in constant motion, the woman who is unhurried, who knows how to pause, who is comfortable in silence, she stands out. She holds a room not by what she does, but by the energy she brings. And men feel that. So remember, body language isn't about performance. It's about alignment. When your body mirrors your inner confidence, when your movements reflect your peace, you won't have to try to attract anyone. You'll simply be attracted. That's the secret that draws men in quietly, powerfully, effortlessly. There's something enchanting about a woman who doesn't reveal everything at once. A woman who carries herself with a touch of mystery, as if there's always more beneath the surface, more to know, more to discover. This is the art of feminine mystery. And when you master it, you don't just catch a man's eye, you stay on his mind long after you've left the room. The key to mystery isn't about playing games or withholding, just to create frustration. It's about allowing your true essence to unfold naturally, layer by layer, instead of giving it all away in one breath. It's about letting a man earn the privilege of knowing you on deeper levels. When everything about you is out in the open too soon, there's nothing left for him to explore. And exploration is what keeps his curiosity and his interest alive. Mystery lives in your pauses, in the way you listen, truly listen, without rushing to fill every silence, in the way you answer a question thoughtfully, instead of oversharing just to keep the conversation going. It's in the way you smile as if you know something beautiful that the world hasn't yet seen, and maybe never will. Feminine mystery is about being unpredictable in the most graceful way. It's not about mood swings or creating confusion. It's about letting a man see that you have your own world, your own dreams, your own passions, and that he can be invited into that world, but he'll never fully own it. There's a part of you that stays yours, always, and that is what keeps him intrigued. You don't have to tell your entire story on the first date or the second. Let your story unfold like a novel he can't put down, chapter by chapter, with depth and wonder in every page. Share pieces of yourself when it feels right, not when you feel pressure. When you do, each moment of vulnerability will feel earned, not given away for free. Mystery also lives in your energy. A woman who doesn't chase, who isn't desperate for validation, who can enjoy a man's company without needing it to define her. She is the embodiment of feminine mystery. She leaves a man wondering what she's thinking, what she's feeling, what she'll do next, and that wonder is what keeps him coming back. So remember, the art of feminine mystery isn't about hiding who you are. It's about protecting the parts of you that are sacred. It's about creating space for a man to pursue, discover, and cherish you over time. The less you try to be understood all at once, the more unforgettable you become. Attraction isn't just about what you look like or what you say. It starts in your mind. The energy you project, the way people feel when they're around you, all begins with the beliefs you hold about yourself. The truth is, the most magnetic women are the ones who shift their mindset from needing to impress to simply choosing to be. And once you unlock these shifts, you'll stop chasing attention, because attention will naturally find its way to you. The first shift is moving from scarcity to abundance. A woman who believes she has to cling tightly to any man who shows interest radiates fear. But a woman who believes in abundance, who knows there are plenty of wonderful men and that she is a prize herself, gives off a relaxed, confident energy. She's not grasping, she's not desperate, she's open, and that openness draws people in. Next is shifting from proving to knowing. A magnetic woman doesn't feel the need to convince anyone of her worth. She doesn't list off her accomplishments, overshare her struggles, or work overtime to be good enough. She knows she is enough, just as she is. That knowing creates an invisible pull. People want to be around someone who is deeply rooted in self-worth, because it makes them feel safe, and inspired. Another shift is from chasing to attracting. The moment you stop trying to force connections, the moment you stop analyzing every text or second-guessing your worth based on how someone else reacts, that's when you step into your power. Magnetic energy comes from ease, from trusting that what's meant for you will come to you, and you don't have to chase it down. There's also the shift from needing validation to giving yourself permission. A woman who waits for someone else to choose her, to compliment her, to tell her she's beautiful, gives away her power. But when you begin to validate yourself, when you look in the mirror and say, I am enough, I am radiant, I am worthy, you stop needing external approval. And ironically, that's when people start offering it freely. Finally, it's about shifting from fear to trust. Fear whispers, what if I'm not good enough? What if I'm rejected? But trust says I am exactly where I'm meant to be. The right connection will find me at the right time. When you move in trust, your entire energy softens. You become magnetic not because you're trying to be, but because you're at peace. And that peace is rare, beautiful, and deeply attractive. So remember, real magnetism starts in the mind. When you change your mindset, you change your energy. And when you change your energy, you change what you attract. Attraction isn't just about looks, words, or even actions. It's about energy, the invisible current that flows between you and him. The way your presence makes him feel, that's what truly draws a man in. And when your energy is aligned, when your inner world reflects confidence, peace, and openness, you create a pull so powerful that he feels it even without understanding why. So what does energy alignment look like? It starts with being grounded in yourself. A woman who knows who she is, who doesn't sway with every opinion or get lost in trying to be what someone else wants, radiates strength. Men feel that strength, not in a forceful, aggressive way, but in the quiet certainty of a woman who chooses herself first. That grounded energy tells him, I don't need you to complete me, but I am open to sharing this journey. And that balance is what makes him lean in closer. Aligned energy is also about living in the present moment. So many people miss connection because they're stuck in their heads, overthinking, replaying past wounds, or worrying about the future. But when you are fully present, when your eyes, your heart, and your attention are here, now with him, it creates magic. He feels seen, he feels important. And in a world where so many women are distracted by doubts or games, you will stand out. Another part of energy alignment is letting go of control. Attraction isn't something you can force. When you try too hard, trying to say the right thing, trying to get a certain reaction, trying to make him feel a certain way, the energy feels heavy. But when you surrender to the moment, when you trust that what's meant for you will flow to you naturally, your energy becomes light, inviting, irresistible. Aligned energy is also about self-trust. When you trust yourself, your choices, your intuition, your worth, you stop chasing, proving, or doubting. That kind of trust makes a man feel safe in your presence. It tells him, here is a woman who stands tall in who she is. Here is a woman I can respect. Finally, energy alignment is about softness with boundaries. It's about being warm, kind, open, but not losing yourself. It's about knowing where your lines are and holding them with grace. A woman who is both soft and strong creates a dynamic that is deeply attractive. He feels invited in, but he also feels the challenge of earning his place beside you. When your energy is aligned, you don't have to try to make a man feel pulled toward you. He will feel it on his own, drawn not to what you do, but to who you are. That is the power of energy alignment, and that is how you become truly unforgettable. Sometimes the most powerful things you can say are the things you don't say. Subtle communication is an art, one that doesn't rely on long speeches, endless explanations, or trying to convince someone how amazing you are. Instead, it's about saying just enough to spark curiosity, just enough to connect, and then letting silence and presence do the rest. When you master this, you'll find that men lean in, not because you're shouting for attention, but because your quiet confidence draws them closer. One of the most powerful forms of subtle communication is your tone. The softness in your voice, the calm pace of your words, it speaks volumes. A woman who rushes to fill every silence or who speaks too fast out of nervousness gives off anxious energy. But when you slow down, when you allow your words to land, when you're comfortable with pauses, that's when a man really starts to listen. Your voice becomes something he wants to hear more of, not because it's loud, but because it's thoughtful and intentional. Another element of subtle communication is choosing your words with care. You don't need to overshare your life story or give away every thought that crosses your mind. In fact, mystery lives in what you hold back. When you speak, let your words come from a place of truth, not from a place of trying to impress or persuade. Say what you mean, say it simply, and then let him wonder what else is behind that beautiful, calm exterior. Your facial expressions are part of this subtle language too. A gentle smile, a knowing glance, the sparkle in your eyes when something delights you. These unspoken messages can create deeper connection than words ever could. When you master the art of saying more by saying less, you allow your presence to fill the space, rather than your words. Subtle communication also means listening more than you speak. When you truly listen, not waiting for your turn to talk, not planning your next point, you create space for him to open up. And when he opens up, he feels connected to you on a level that no amount of clever words could ever achieve. And finally, subtle communication is about self-control. It's about knowing that you don't need to respond to everything. You don't have to correct, justify, or over-explain. There is strength in quiet, in choosing when to speak and when to let the moment breathe. So remember, you don't have to say much to leave a lasting impact. In fact, when you learn to say less, you often say so much more. That is the true power of subtle communication, and it's what will make you unforgettable in his mind and heart. At the end of the day, it's not just about catching his attention. It's about leaving an impression that lingers, one that he carries with him long after the conversation ends, long after you've left the room. That's what lasting impact is all about. And the secret, it's in the small, powerful choices you make and how you show up. Choices that quietly set you apart from the rest. First, always lead with authenticity. A woman who is real, who embraces who she is without apology, who doesn't bend and twist herself to fit what she thinks a man wants. She is unforgettable. Men may be drawn in by looks or charm at first, but what keeps them thinking about you is how genuine you are. When you own your truth, when you stop performing and simply be, you become magnetic in a way that no one else can copy. Second, practice the art of leaving space. Don't rush to fill every silence. Don't overstay in conversations or messages. Leave him wanting more. When you exit an interaction with grace, not abruptly, not coldly, but with warmth and intention, you create room for curiosity to grow. And that curiosity keeps him coming back, wondering what's next, wanting to know you deeper. Third, protect your energy. Lasting impact doesn't come from giving and giving until you're empty. It comes from being selective about who you engage with, about what you give your attention to, about where you invest your emotional energy. A woman who knows how to protect her peace, who values her own time and heart, is a woman who commands respect. Another key tip, consistency in your grace and strength. It's easy to make a good impression. What makes it last is when you consistently carry yourself with quiet confidence, kindness, and boundaries. When he sees that you are the same woman in private as you are in public, that you don't change based on who's watching, that's when you truly stay in his mind. Finally, trust yourself. The lasting impact doesn't come from saying the perfect thing or playing a role. It comes from trusting your own worth, your intuition, your path. When you trust yourself, you move through the world differently. You stop needing constant validation. And in that self-trust, you create a presence so strong, so steady, that he feels it even when you're not around. So as you walk forward, remember, lasting impact isn't about doing more. It's about being more true to yourself, more at peace, more aligned. That's what leaves a mark on a man's heart. And that's what makes you unforgettable. In the end, the most powerful thing you can do is choose elegance over effort. Because true attraction, true connection was never meant to come from force. It was never about how hard you try, how much you chase, or how perfectly you play a role. It was always about how effortlessly you can be, and how confidently you can let that be enough. Elegance isn't about what you wear or how you speak. It's an energy. It's the way you carry yourself, the way you walk through the world with quiet certainty. It's the softness in your presence that makes others feel at ease, and the strength in your boundaries that makes others respect you. When you choose elegance, you stop over-giving. You stop proving. You simply allow your natural light to shine. And in that light, the right people are drawn to you without you lifting a finger. Too often, we're taught to believe that love, attention, or worth must be earned through constant effort, that we must do more, give more, be more, to deserve it. But the The most unforgettable women are the ones who stop trying so hard. The ones who trust that who they are is already enough. The ones who let their presence speak louder than their performance. So as you move forward, let this be your reminder. You don't need to exhaust yourself trying to get him to see your worth. Your worth is already there waiting for you to see it first. Choose elegance, choose ease, choose to trust that the right energy, the right connection, the right love will find you when you stop trying to force it. Because in the end, elegance isn't about effort at all. It's about trust, it's about alignment, and it's about knowing that the woman who truly chooses herself is the woman who draws the world to her, effortlessly, gracefully, powerfully.